Morning. Good morning, everybody. I am now live. I am going to do both my phone and YouTube. So thank you for being here. It's a beautiful Sunday morning and it's Labor Day weekend. We're celebrating here. We've been out on the boat all weekend. We are going to a pool party today. I hope you have found some fun things to do on your weekend. I hope you didn't have to work. Look up the reason for Labor Day. If you haven't read the history about Labor Day, it's actually pretty important. As an HR professional, I can appreciate Labor Day, and I hope you're enjoying it. Anyway, we're going to talk today about why everybody triggers you, why everybody that you run into kind of sometimes you're like totally annoyed by them, or something happens and it causes you to react, and it's maybe a minuscule thing. Maybe it's just something minor. And the people around you are like, why did you make that such a big deal? Like, it's no big deal. Why are you making it a big deal? Maybe that should have been the title. Why are you making it a big deal? And the reason you're making it a big deal is because of your history. It's because of everything you've ever learned. And what I'm beginning to recognize, it's not important to just know why you behave the way you behave. It's important to also take it to the next level and learn how to cope with that behavior. Forgive yourself for the behavior, release the behavior, heal the behavior, heal the piece inside of you that caused you to be triggered. So first, let me give you the example of what we're talking about, and let's see if you can relate. So the other day, I was at Bald Head Island. We were on vacation. We took the boat down there. For those of you who've been following me, you'll know that was wrought with a few bumps in the road, but not triggering bumps until we're at dinner one night. So our AC went out on the boat. These are first world problems, but ultimately the AC goes out and we go stay at a bed and breakfast. So that was super nice. And John said to me, "Oh, I bet you broke the AC just so we could go stay in this really nice Airbnb." Maybe. I will never tell. But we do go to dinner one night at the club, which a club that if you stayed at this Airbnb or this bed and breakfast, they let you have a membership at this club. So we go and we're sitting in the bar area, and we're ordering our meal, and my daughter calls me, and I pick up the phone, and I think it is FaceTime. It's not super loud, but we're on the phone, and I'm talking to her, and I'm checking in. I always answer the phone when my kids call, no matter what. Okay, not every time, but 99% of the time. And all of a sudden, the manager comes over and says, "Excuse me, ma'am, you can't have your phone on here in the club. You need to turn that off." And I'm like, it's my daughter. Like that would rationalize it, justify it. And I said, "Okay, fine." And I was like, "Campbell, I have to go." So I hung up on her. I probably turned 3 sheets of red, and then I was like pissed. All of a sudden, I'm like, so upset. And John's like, "Hey, no big deal. What's wrong?" And I'm like, "I don't know." And I'm literally like having an attitude, excuse me, about this manager coming over and calling me out, right? And I took some breaths. I was really upset. And I said to him a minute later, I'm breathing through it, and I'm really watching myself. And I'm like, "Wow, NICOA, you really are having a massive reaction to that guy. What was that all about?" "No big deal. They got rules. No phones on in the club. I'm at the club as a guest. I'm supposed to follow the rules, right? It's not that big a deal. My daughter was not in an emergency situation. So I totally am able to hang out. It was not that big a deal." But why did I have a big deal about it? Why did I all of a sudden react? And I was like pissed. I said to Don, "I am really embarrassed. I think I'm really embarrassed." And he's like, "Well, why? Why?" And I was like, "I don't know. I feel horrible." Like it shifted the entire energy of the dinner. I was like, "I just feel so bad." And he's like, it was just a phone, right? And I appreciate it. And I hear him and I get it. And I keep sitting here thinking, why am I having this feeling? Like shame. It was like I was ashamed. Oh, I did something wrong. Oh, I'm embarrassed. And then there was this part of me that was also self-righteous, like, "Excuse me, I can use my phone if I want." It's just my daughter. Y'all, have you ever done this? Have you ever had these moments? And it's so multi-layered in your reaction that most of the time you don't even understand why you're reacting the way you are. You think, I know better. I know it's no big deal, but clearly I'm upset now. And I was having a really hard time shifting the energy of my mood. Here is an example of my past. So this is what I'm telling you. Every person that comes into your life is happening for you. Let's just put that assumption, write that down, okay? Every person that comes into your life is happening for you, and that includes the manager at the Bald Head Island Club. That includes the customer service rep. That includes the person that cuts you off in traffic. That includes your spouse, your partner, your family, your friends. That includes your next door neighbor. When I was a little girl, I can remember being at a restaurant once, and I've told you guys this story before, I'm sure. It's a moment of time that embedded in me cellular beliefs about life. And it wasn't just this one moment. This is an example of probably many moments where I began to accumulate a belief system about who I was, how I was supposed to show up in the world, and what everybody else was supposed to be doing in relationship to me. So I'm sitting at the breakfast table with my older brothers, and we're laughing. And I mean, I'm laughing like NICOA, authentic, laughing, head back, mouth wide open, just being NICOA. And I'm probably about 7 years old. And we're laughing. And then all of a sudden, my brother says to me, I won't say which one so they don't feel bad. They said, Nikki, be quiet. The people at that other table can hear you. And I remember immediately going from my authentic self to shut down and embarrassed. What was I learning in that moment? Two things. First of all, Nikki, you're too loud. You're too much. Being authentic is not proper. You can't be you. That's too much. Okay. And the other thing I learned, second thing, was that evidently it was my responsibility to make sure the people at that table were okay, that I didn't offend, right? Now, I'm not running through the restaurant yelling and knocking people's, plates out of their way and intentionally hurting people. I'm simply being me. And as a result, I'm being then trained and told, as he was as well, that it is my responsibility to be calm and cool and, stay small so as to not to offend. So fast forward to 2021. I am 52 years old, -8, whatever that math is. -7, however old I was. That man comes out and he says, you need to put your phone away, ma'am. And I didn't even see him coming. I'm talking to my daughter, and then all of a sudden, he's in my face. Excuse me, ma'am, right? I'm triggered by the same embedded in my cells. I'm pointing at my body here. Embedded cellular memory of embarrassment, shame, you're too much, you're responsible for everybody else in the room, and you have violated that rule, and therefore I'm naturally triggered. Makes so much sense. But you can't just walk around going, well, that's the way I am. No, you have to do this analysis because I can do that analysis. And what is it about my past that causes me to still have those moments of trigger? And, and why do other people annoy me? If I can learn this practice of observing myself and walking myself through that lineage, that linear connection, that string from my youth to my adulthood, I can recover faster. I can breathe through it, and I can forgive myself and say, well, of course, NICOA, of course you're going to feel that way. Anyone with a history like yours, with those moments of being told you were too much or too loud, it's no one's fault. Please, I'm not saying, figure out who to blame in your past. That's bullshit. You don't need to blame anybody. Everybody's doing the best they can. Even when they're mean and horrible and they are coming from a space of their own childhood traumas. So my embarrassment, doing the best I can, shutting down at the table is based on my past. And the sooner I understand that, the sooner I can shift it. So I invite you all, please begin to really make those connections and forgive yourself. Because guess what, y'all? I didn't know that rule. And I like to be loud. And yeah, maybe I did cause someone to look up from their table. But I'm still enough and I'm not a bad person and blah, 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 all those things. And I have to just keep saying, I'm enough. That was just a thing. Move on and enjoy your membership at the club. Life by Design. I love you guys. Please let me know if you have similar experiences. Please share this with people who you think would also benefit from any of these Coffee with NICOA topics. And I see all my friends on there. Hey, Megan. Oh, hey, Bridget. I love you guys. Thanks for watching. Have a beautiful sunny Sunday and happy Labor Day. I can't even figure it. Bye.